we're back here on the show, and there's a few little videos to help get us set up for our next topic here. And we've got Goran.
This is a hot topic. Ha ha ha.
Really? Oh, you should. See, she can make jokes too.
Yeah, I just think it's very funny.
It's a hot topic. It's the sun, right?
It's 2,000 degrees hot.
And look, we're both wearing orange, and so are you. Oh my God!
It's Orange Day.
Oh my God! That's just
actually,
because
orange.
of the sun.
Which is also orange.
Yes.
Right, Goran?
Yes, you can see the photo.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have here, this is a poster that
Wow.
Mita is promoting this event with, and this is a big topic because they say science progresses one funeral at a time. Right, Mita? Because
is that what they
people
say?
Because people get so locked into their worldviews, and it's difficult for the people that are at the conventional in conventional
Minds.
science or conventional physics or conventional whatever cosmology to change their minds about something. They get fixed on, and it seems that the paradigm right now is the science as a whole is fixed on the idea that the sun is a hot fusion reactor, right?
Yes. That is the mainstream standard model of the sun.
Yeah.
When we have that it is a hydrogen body, which creates energy by the thermonuclear fusion, creating helium out of hydrogen and releasing energy on that way. That's the theory, which is already at least 80 years old.
Yeah, and I know there's some other theories out there that are gaining popularity, like the electric universe theory, and I don't want to get into that today.
Yes.
That's a whole other topic. But the fact that there are alternatives to the hot fusion
people see
theory.
that something is missing, and the standard model theory was changed many times so far, adjusting all the time. So we never proved any theory we made. So we always, by trying to prove our theories, we come to another discoveries, and we have to change our theories.
And I understand that Polish space team still hasn't landed a man on the sun, so we don't have first-hand evidence, right? So we have to continue to explore.
Let's start by watching the sun, because now we can really see the sun. We have satellites, we have very good equipment. We can see the sun much closer than 80 years ago.
Right.
So we just have to recognize and to realize what we are looking at.
Okay.
That's just a matter of our psychology, because our psychology works that way that we see exactly what we believe. If we believe that it is hydrogen body, gas body making energy that way, we will see that.
So if we believe it's something else?
If we can change our belief, then we will be able to see the difference.
Part of what
another view.
Yeah, you're saying that 80 years ago when the hot fusion theory first came into being, we didn't have the tools to observe the sun as easily as we have done and continue to advance in that way so that our actual observation can inform our theoretical understanding, right?
Now we can see sun almost on our palm.
Yeah.
It's that visible, that clearly visible.
And literally on your Palm Pilot or your smartphone.
Yes.
Okay, right? You can actually watch the sun, the real-time Google sun, right?
If you put some smartphone or iPhone on your palm, you can see the sun on your palm.
Okay, so now first of all, before we get into the theory itself, a little bit about your background.
I completed my study of physics in Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia. I live in part which is now Serbia. By education, I'm a physicist, and the original discovery of all this, let's say, theory started in 1997 by having anti-gravity eureka, by looking at the huge fire and the moment of revelation, which I heard the voice which was saying this is anti-gravity. So I had similar experiences before, but never big like that. It's like you're charging electricity, your spine shivering, whole hair up.
So you received some information.
Yes.
And did this challenge conventional physics, this information?
The anti-gravity is the missing force. So we all expect that all other forces has repulsive and attractive components, we also expect to find repulsive component, which we call antigravity, in mass interactions. So we always talk about gravity, but we all expect that must be antigravity. It's so logical, and it's always, found in the nature so far. So this is just a revelation of the force which was always hiding in a plain sight. We look at the fire all the time. We use steam engines, we use combustion engines, and we use anti-gravity. We just don't know that we use anti-gravity. We already use anti-gravity.
So this was in 1997 that you had this revelation.
Eureka, yes.
Okay, this Eureka. So now what has happened since then? Has science come along with your Eureka, and what are you doing? What have you done?
I did publish a paper in 2000, and it was published in the Journal of Theoretics.
Okay.
That's electronic magazine, scientific. And I was in Russia, in St. Petersburg, to promote my paper, also in 2000. And after that, I started to write a book. And in 2008, I published the book, The Introduction to New Physics, Part 1, because I have discovered that this is a lifelong work. So I started to deliver part by part. So first part is out. And I came to many different realizations after the anti-gravity Eureka. The main one was that mass is relative according to temperature. We all know relativity according to the speed given by Einstein. And this is just, fitting very well because temperature and speed are always connected. And after that, I realized that because of existence of anti-gravity, that processes like hot thermonuclear fusion are not possible because anti-gravity increases in huge measure if we increase temperature. So then I came to the basic question, then if it is not possible process, then how stars create energy? And then I started to research closely sun, and then come realization what the sun is.
Can we just go back just a little bit to make this understandable for people like myself who are not physicists? Okay, so Einstein's theory is the speed of light you're talking about, right?
And relativity of everything, what we can measure, mass, dimensions, and other things, according to the speed
of light, correct?
Not according to the speed of the body. If you move somebody, then you have contraction, then you have time dilatation, then you have all kind of changes in other qualities, including the mass.
Okay.
But according to the speed of a body.
Okay, and then yours comes in. How does this
according to the temperature of a body.
Okay.
So we don't have to move anybody in any speed if it just stays still as we believe that it is still, and just change the temperature, we will have change in mass.
Okay.
And we will have change in gravity and anti-gravity interactions between two bodies.
So does this contradict anything, or does this complement?
Yes and no.
Okay,
confirms
that's
the basic relativity which is given by Einstein, but this thing going much further and deeper.
So is this like the next step, maybe?
Yes, for sure that can be next step.
Are you impressed with my questions?
No.
Oh. Oh, well, I thought they were pretty good.
Well, it's like, so we're always trying to understand reality, right?
Yes. Well,
and so, at one time, they thought the Earth was flat, right? Right. And then we learned that it wasn't. Right?
Now we think it's round.
Well, and at one time they thought the Earth, or that the sun was a hot fusion reactor. And now we're learning that it is...
What?
What, Mita?
Liquid boiling magma.
Liquid boiling magma? Or lava?
Lava. Okay, let's say lava.
I like love. Lava.
Sounds much better. Lava we call magma, which come to the surface of the earth. So lava is much probably more
lava is
familiar.
once it's out. Magma is the right word.
Magma. Is below the surface when we consider Earth volcano activity, and lava is when it is visible on the surface.
When it explodes.
Yes.
Okay, so it's now liquid boiling lava or magma. You're laughing at me. Okay, it's liquid boiling magma as opposed to this hot fusion reactor thing you were talking about. Okay, what the heck difference does that make in my life? I'm Sorry.
It's okay to stare at the sun now.
Hot. And well, I'll still get a sunburn. Like, I don't get this. How does this change our life?
Will change our understanding of nature, will change our consciousness. So we also were believing in the past that Earth, we are in the center of the universe. We didn't understand that we also rotate, around the sun and everything else. But we were believing that how we can rotate. If we rotate, we will just fly out by centrifugal force. So we are believing that we are staying still in the universe and everything else rotates around the Earth. That was the geocentric system.
Okay.
And then by observing other celestial bodies, we came to crazy trajectories, which we call epicycles. And it's simply just not logical that celestial bodies will move like this. Forward, backward, making loops all the time. And then Copernicus came with the discovery that actually Sun is the center of our system and then we are just one planet which rotates around the Sun. When we put Sun in the center of the system, we get just simple pattern with the nice circles around.
So we are no longer the center of the universe. We are just one of the many
now we know
things rotating around. How did
forget, but that's not the topic.
Okay, sorry.
What Mita is saying is that now we have, because there are inconsistencies, are there not, with the theory of the sun being a hot fusion reactor. There's some things that the scientists can't explain with that theory, right?
In present state of our discoveries, we can see less than 5% of the matter in the universe.
Okay.
4 to 5%. Everything else we call dark matter.
Okay.
We see by gravitational interactions that must be more, but we just don't see, and then we call it dark matter.
Okay.
And it's like 27%, and everything else we call dark energy, because we see energy which works in the universe, spreading universe faster and faster, but we don't understand what is that energy. So we have dark things. So there is a lot of things which are not fitting with the reality.
Right.
And the main thing is, the main question, logical question is, we have discovered so far few millions of extrasolar planets. Before we were believing that the planets are only the case around the sun. Now we can see them around almost every star. So we see the pattern that every star has planets around, and we know what are the planets, as the Earth is just a liquid lava body with a tiny cold crust. Tiny, very tiny cold crust, tinier than the shell of egg.
Well, that's Earth, but there are other planets, even in our own solar system, that are differently constructed, like the gas giants.
That's another wrong assumption we made.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so, but how planets and all asteroids and all rocks came to existence? When we have always in the center of the system, we always have hydrogen gas body, star, and we always have liquid rocks flying around.
Okay.
And according to present knowledge and theories, we always need explosion of some very distant supernova, which is the only maker, by the present theory, only makers of the heavy elements, to explode somewhere on a very distant place and to send us heavy elements which will do condensation around our star and make our planets. So stars always need help from somewhere very far away. So we have basic illogic in our understanding of creation of the solar systems.
All right. That's it.
He doesn't even know what question to ask.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about it because. So you're saying that the supernovas are, in the current theory, the only thing that can create heavy elements.
Heavier elements
like rock,
yes,
and iron.
Yes, iron. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So what you're here to talk about today, okay? How does this relate to everything you're saying? What's important about what you have to say, Mita?
As I say on the first statement here, this is really only once in a few centuries thing which happened, because Newton revealed gravity a few centuries ago.
Okay.
And then now we are talking about antigravity and revelation of antigravity.
Okay.
So it really happens in a few centuries. So we came to the point when we have to radically change our understanding of nature. And that's a big thing. There's a thing which will not affect just physics, but all sciences, philosophy, and everything.
All of life.
Yes. Yeah. Or our understanding, our thinking, our paradigms of thinking will be changed.
Okay.
And that will be really, really big impact on everything, on our lives, how we see the lives. Because if we didn't understand the basic thing like what the sun is and how sun works, then what we really did understand correct. We have really to re-examine everything what we know.
Well, just one example is that they are trying to duplicate hot fusion. They're spending billions of dollars to create hot fusion reactors here on Earth based on our understanding of how the sun works.
Yes.
So
for 4 decades or more.
Yeah.
Without success. That's one of the proofs that we really do on an impossible task.
Yeah.
We are trying to accomplish something which is impossible because there is no issue of money for that. There is no issue of brains and people who work on that. So we work on impossible project.
And they're still not accomplishing it, which is telling you it's wrong. The theory is wrong.
Something
the model is wrong.
Yeah. We agree in physics that something is fundamentally wrong. Equation doesn't have any more sense. So we see that something is fundamentally wrong.
Okay.
And this is really coming like a help, like a door to exit this confusion we have now.
Great. Okay. So you're going to be giving a presentation on July 25th at OISE to kick off this. You're essentially announcing this new theory, right?
Yes.
On that date.
That's the purpose of Flacket and promoting this event.
Right.
With the help of that channel.
Well, we do what we can. Right?
Well, it sounds fascinating. It sounds like it's a breakthrough.
What I'd like to do now is, do we have any more videos?
Yes.
Why don't we just watch one of those, and then we'll come back and we'll continue discussing a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
About this.
Let's look once again at the sun from the different point of view.
Okay.
All right. So here's the sun.
It's visible.
And we're going to come back with Mita as
liquid boiling lava, magma.
Liquid stones.
So we're looking at the sun here, right, Mita?
Yes.
So tell us what we're looking at here. This is supposed to be a hot fusion reactor.
Explosion of the sun and explosion of the liquid body of the sun, liquid matter, which again comes back. We never see fire comes back after. When we look at the fire, it always goes up,
and away.
Never falls down.
Right.
Because if it is fire, it will just continue to fly out.
Right, and
but
dissipate.
We have liquid magma which goes up, but gravity of the sun pull it back.
Is this the anti-gravity force you're talking about then? Is this what you refer to with anti-gravity?
It's explosion, you know, because in liquid boiling magma we also have gas.
Okay.
So they explode.
Okay,
it's boiling.
let's come back and we will continue to talk about it. So, okay, sure, but the sun is not, strictly speaking, fire. If it's a hot fusion reaction, it's not fire per se. It's not a fire like a campfire, right? Fire is not a hot
fires
fusion
all
reaction.
over the surface. It creates because it's boiling, creates all the time hot gases, which are, because they are too hot, they have anti-gravity and they have repulsive mass, and anti-gravity force pull them away. That's the source. Anti-gravity force is the source which creates solar wind. Every star has solar wind. That means blowing away all the gases, which are speeded up to the dead temperature and dead speed, that they disintegrate to the alpha particles and protons, and we see them. And because we see them, we have correct data. We see alpha particles, we see protons, and we see them like a hydrogen and helium. But they're just rest after the disintegration of the heavier elements, which started like a vapor from the liquid boiling magma of the sun. And the solar wind, which exists around every star, blows dead particles away. It pushes away. Every star is like a pump which blows away the gases and elementary particles. In dead conditions, nothing can come to condensate around. So that's one more proof that present theory about supernovas and condensation around the stars can't happen, because in circumstances when everything is blown away, nothing can condensate and stay there like anything, like planet or comet or anything else.
Okay, so I have a question, because when we look at the sun on those videos, it's that's not what the sun really looks like. The sun is so much brighter than those videos, because when we look at the sun in the sky, and what so my question is, because if I'm imagining the sun is red hot or whatever lava, it's not, in my thinking, in my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, it's not going to be as bright as our sun is.
Actually, the surface of the sun, which we call photosphere, is first was estimated to be like 5,800 degrees. And interestingly enough, after publishing of my book and trying to connect many scientists around the world, came information that realization occurred that temperature of the surface of the sun should be decreased to 4,500 degrees. It's almost exactly the temperature of the lava we have on the Earth. When we have volcanoes, it's the same temperature.
So that makes sense.
And it is not big temperature.
But I'm not talking about the temperature. If I'm imagining looking at the lava that's in the Earth, at the center of the Earth or whatever, it ain't going to be as bright as the sun.
Okay, but we can see, we can watch volcanoes, we can see eruption of volcanoes, and we can watch liquid lava coming out. So it's almost the same temperature like a surface of the sun.
Yeah, but you don't.
Then we have increase of the temperature. When we go away from the sun, we have increase of the temperature, which is absolutely illogical. If we want to get more heat, we go closer to the source of the heat. Normally. We go closer to the fire.
You would think so, yes.
But the sun
on
is
the
not
sun,
like that.
we have opposite logic.
Right.
So surface is 4,500 degrees, photosphere. In chromosphere, we have increase in temperature to 20 to 30,000 degrees. And in corona, which is much, much further, we have million or few millions degrees. We have totally opposite logic.
How does that?
The sun.
How do you explain that?
Yeah.
That's the work of anti-gravity force. Anti-gravity force pushing away the material, the gases, atoms, and molecules, which has repulsive mass, and speed them up. By speeding them up, increase their temperature.
Okay, so what does this mean then? Because then it sounds like the sun is now, it's losing mass, under your theory, because it is losing photons, it's losing particles, and they are becoming the solar wind, right? So that is then going to give us, I would think, a different idea of the life cycle of a star and that sort of thing?
Correct, but on which way different? On this way, we realize that sun is much more effective producer of energy than that hot fusion. That means that sun will live much, much longer than we now believe. That means that sun is much, much older than we believe. So this has to change everything we know about cosmology.
So we don't have to worry about vacating the planet when it's about to turn into a red giant.
For sure. No. That's the theory which will be changed.
Because I've been concerned about that for a long time. When are we going to start building spaceships?
Okay, you have to be relaxed about that. Just get relaxed about that.
Chill, okay? Just chill.
Chill. We have to change our astrophysics. We have to change our cosmology. So this is the thing which will just launch chain of changes.
So is the sun, is our perception of the sun being harmful to us, the sun's rays being harmful to us, wearing the sunscreen and all that stuff, is that also not true then?
We have many wrong assumptions, but the fact is that sun is getting warmer.
The sun is getting warmer.
Like whole universe is getting warmer and spreading faster and faster. So we are in a process, cosmological process, when temperature rise in a universe and universe spreading faster and faster. What is the real cause of that? We don't know, but we can see that.
We can see the effect.
We can see the effect. We can measure the speed of the particles flying by Earth, and the speed is higher than before. So we can measure that, and we see that sun works stronger and stronger, and it affects everything on Earth, all living species, and affects our consciousness also.
Okay, so global warming, does this tie into that? Is global, because some people say global warming is a myth, it doesn't exist. Does this tie into that at all, Mita?
We have global warming in whole universe.
Okay.
So we have increase in temperature, we have increase in present energy in the universe in this time of the universe.
So now you also mentioned that it affects our consciousness.
Yes.
Okay.
We are directly connected with the sun cycle, and it.
How does it affect our consciousness? What is it? Is it frying our brains? How is it affecting our consciousness?
We are getting more and more closer to the full consciousness. So
to full consciousness.
Yes, it affects everything, our energy bodies and everything, chakras. This is not physics, but it affects also on us, on energy level bodies of the human being, chakras, and also consciousness.
Now, is that part of your theory as well?
No.
The way that it, okay,
no,
so yours is.
I don't go that way.
All right, I see.
I stay with the physics.
Her fault.
Yeah.
It's her fault. Yeah. So this is strictly a physics.
Yes,
theory,
let's
right?
stay with the physics and let's not step in metaphysics.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
okay.
Well,
now,
metaphysics, see, it's a branch of physics.
It's metaphysics.
Oh, there we go. Metaphysics. You have to create your own brand new, so you called it the new physics, metaphysics.
Yeah, the new physics. I call it
metaphysics.
The new physics. No, better to call it antigravity physics.
Okay, antigravity physics. Now,
nothing personal.
Now, Mita, you and I have to bring this up, Sandra, because we had some preliminary conversations about this. And one of the things that your theory explains, okay, now, I mean, we've heard crazy theories about a hollow Earth and this sort of thing. Your theory actually, correct me if I'm wrong, postulates that indeed, because of the anti-gravity and the relationships of what you're trying to bring forth here in this new understanding of physics, that it makes sense that the Earth, in fact, all the planets, and the Sun too, are all hollow.
And whole stars.
And the stars.
As this says here, a demonstration of astrological principles emerging from rotating liquid boiling lava. There is very simple physics which explains what's going on in bodies which are made of liquid, especially boiling liquid, and it creates hollow, so all celestial bodies are hollow.
So maybe there are UFOs that live in the center of our planet, and you can get there through the Antarctic,
yes,
and the Arctic, and that's the Nazis have their UFO base there. Right?
No comment on that.
and there is a crystal core right in the very center of the planet. Would that make sense with your theory, or is that relevant or not even an issue?
According to my discoveries, the celestial bodies are hollow, but
completely hollow. They're completely empty inside. They're completely empty.
I don't know. Nobody knows because we've never been there.
Okay.
Well, you can take there's a cruise ship that goes up into the Bering Strait, apparently, to see the
to go into
Earth.
the center. Yeah.
Apparently.
If they bring some pictures, we will know what is inside.
So let me ask you something, Mita. So far, how has your theory been received by other physicists? Because you said you also wrote some articles that were in some journals and that kind of thing. So, and you're writing a book. And how is it being received so far? Are people thinking you're crazy? Your colleagues, are they thinking you're crazy?
Probably they think all kinds of things, because this is the really totally different approach to anything we know.
Okay, so this is radical in your circle.
Radical.
Okay.
You did mention electrical universe. That theory has good points, but also has weak points, and we have to always to take in account all forces, because all forces we know, gravity, anti-gravity, centrifugal force, electromagnetic forces, all work all the time together. We have to consider all of them together working. If we just stay with one, we are always missing reality.
Yeah, that's why the dark matter is a big black box where they put all the inconsistencies, right?
Yes, that's the weakness of the mainstream physics, which consider mainly gravity, and nothing else. Electric universe theory brings electromagnetic forces, which are also in work all the time. So now I'm bringing anti-gravity force. The real happy situation, which can really give us real answers, is when we work them all together, working all the time, because they all the time work all together. There is no separation. They work all the time together. When we take them all in the picture, then we can see reality.
Okay, so Mita, are there any inconsistencies in your theory that you've been able to identify that would suggest that perhaps there's more work to do?
Oh, there is of course more work to be done, because this is lifelong job. And but so far responses from the people who were reading my book, and even non-physicists, people who are in totally different areas, the basic comment was like, Mita, we don't know is it true or no, we are not in that position to say, but what you are saying
Makes
to me
sense.
is logical.
Right.
So I didn't publish my book until I circled the logic. So that's the main strength of the.
Okay, great. So now, you are holding an event at OISE on July 25th. So this is going to be the official
7 p.m. Yes,
7 p.m. The official announcement of this theory. You're going to go over it in some detail.
Yes,
and explain it to interested parties.
Exactly. Will be Q&A afterwards, of course, and I will try to be short as possible, up to 1 hour, and to leave hour or hour and a half for the Q&A. And this is just the beginning of the, I don't know how long discussion until we realize where we are, heading. But for example, just to change geometry of our solar system was 150 years needed for Copernicus' case.
Yeah.
Of course, he didn't have internet, YouTube, and all these technologies we have today. So this is like an in vivo experiment.
Yes.
It will be very interesting to see how things will unfold.
Okay, so anybody who's interested, whether you're a physicist or a mathematician or just an interested person like me or you.
I think this is absolutely fascinating. I think this is because it can change everything.
Yes.
It can change absolutely everything.
It will affect our consciousness on every level, whatever we do.
Okay, so July 25th at OISE, and you'll be seeing these posters around the city. And Mita, is there a website or something online where people can go and get more information?
There is the website, but unfortunately 2 nights ago I have discovered that my website has been hacked. So,
that must mean you're getting to the truth.
Probably. My email address is thenewphysics@gmail.com. Thenewphysics@gmail.com. Everyone can get free copy of my ebook.
What about the Eventbrite?
That's where you get the tickets?
Eventbrite will be on Saturday evening or Sunday.
Okay, so people might afterwards see it on YouTube. So I'll just tell them they can go to sun-liquid.eventbrite.com, right? And there's tickets available on that site,
online,
on the Eventbrite. So people can get their tickets there, and it's like $12. So that's worth it. And
and everybody will get free book for the ticket.
Really? You get a book?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing.
Wow.
So it's $20 at the door, but $12 if you buy it in advance online at sun-liquid.eventbrite.com. And Mita, this is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to the presentation and finding out more. And I wish you, if you're right, I wish you all the best. It's all about truth.
Well, you know what? Thank you for having the courage to stand forward and do this as well. Because, like you said, a lot of people will to come up with something that's so radical. You actually basically are a target.
Well, look what happened to Galileo. He was excommunicated.
Well, how about Copernicus? Wasn't he in major doo-doo too?
Giordano Bruno was burned.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Galileo was just in home prison.
Oh, okay. Well, gee, just in prison.
But we are now in 21st century.
Well, you got your website hacked.
Yeah, that's the modern way now, right?
The 21st century, burning out.
So congratulations on this. Regardless of what happens, it takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, and thank you for your help and your participation. I really offer my gratitude to the Dutch channel, because without cooperation, nothing can be done. We are both together in this.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And everybody wear orange when you go.
The color of the sun. Okay, let's watch some more sun videos. And we're going to come back. Rob Green and the band are here, and Liquid Lunch will continue. We'll be right back.
We're going to get a performance, right?
Yeah.
Yes.